What's up, everybody? It's your boy Reggie Casual, and welcome to class where we dissect, disseminate, and discuss the fashion business. And today, I'm making a formal plea. Stop making streetwear brands. Just stop. Now, why, you ask? Well, that comes next. A few years back, the late Virgil Abloh stated that streetwear was dead in an interview. Then the whole world went mad. Bobby Hundreds even came to the ring and offered his take, and countless amateur fashion critics had their 2 cents as well. It was a different time, and a crap ton of so-called streetwear heads were understandably peeved. But here's the kicker. Virgil was 100% correct, at least in my opinion. But not because streetwear fashion is terrible, which there's a case to be made that many of the new brands out there are in fact dog shit. It's not that. Streetwear is dead because far too many new brands are pulling from the same sources and not from subcultures which brands from yesteryear relied heavily on. Think Stussy, Fresh Jive, Benny Gold, anything. Basically all the brands from the golden era were pretty much all local, representing the styles and attitudes of the community they served. They then metastasized from there. Many of the would-be new labels, however, aren't doing this and instead opt for rehashed, imitated ideas devoid of any type of culture or identity. But this just goes into my initial plea to stop making streetwear brands. Back when labels like the Hundreds, Ruka, Thrasher, and the like were all huge, no one was really screaming streetwear, 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 but instead invoked lifestyle. These were brands for specific groups, and many of these groups were incredibly protective of these lifestyles. Today, any protection invoked by any brand, or any person for that matter, is labeled as gatekeeping. But in a sense, gatekeeping something, at least for a time, is a far better prospect than opening the floodgates to any and everyone, which can dilute the very message a brand intends to spread or any lifestyle it intends to represent. So my plea isn't to stop making your streetwear brand, period. My plea is for you to stop referring to it as streetwear. Now, certainly it can pull from the street, but what street? What culture? What lifestyle? And how do you uplift what you are taking from so that it's noticed by the individuals that matter to the success of your future label? Now, I'm gonna level with you. I can't stand the term streetwear, nor do I really like streetwear as a concept, but that's neither here nor there. Because so many have argued that streetwear can be anything and any brand can be street. But I think that that logic is flawed. Any brand can be styled into streetwear, of course, but not every brand is streetwear. At least that's what I used to say. But now I'm more like streetwear is a long forgotten concept that many are clinging onto to describe a genre of fashion that isn't considered part of the technical design discussion. It's more casual, no pun intended, but considering the times we live in, casual is part of the general fashion discussion now. And by extension, streetwear as a style is now as fashionable as the hottest designs on the runway. As a result, new streetwear brand runners are no longer making streetwear brands whether they know it or not, they're making fashion brands. Problem is, many of them just haven't gotten the memo. It becomes even more confusing because consumers engage in streetwear styles and brand runners are fooled into thinking that making something similar to what they were already buying is the right way to go. Another mistake is many brand runners are making brands similar to the brands they themselves like, but because they find them inaccessible, either due to being outpriced financially or simply unavailable, they feel as if they are filling a void by making a label that is either cheaper or with similar style as what's popular. But what's crazy about these established brands that they're taking from, the people who buy those aren't upset that these brands are expensive or limited. Their only concern is the cultural cachet those established brands hold. Put bluntly, your brand does not have the cultural cachet. Cheaper and more available is not culture. And what's maddening is how many new brand runners think that this is the way to go. New brands no longer have the luxury of playing streetwear fashion for the community unless they actively switch gears from streetwear to lifestyle fashion. I'd much rather hear skate lifestyle brand, punk heritage brand, ska lifestyle label, a label for travelers, natural heritage brand, classic Americana brand, NYC heritage label, a surf lifestyle brand, etc., etc. Can all these be streetwear to some degree? I guess, perhaps, but given that fact, why the hell would we lump them all together? They all invoke different methodologies and inspirations. So I say, stop making a streetwear brand and make something that's lifestyle driven, that can clearly fit a community and culture. In other words, stop making boring, bland shit that stands for nothing, because every successful label on the planet stands for something. It's almost impossible not to. Even money-grabbing fast fashion stands for an idea. Not good ideas, but at least they stand for something. Hell, even Uniqlo stands for what they call lifewear, i.e. stuff you can wear in life, everyday, classics, timeless, you get what I mean. So whether you believe streetwear is dead or not, you certainly shouldn't use it as a crutch to enter into the fashion industry haphazardly. Take your time, learn the trade, build up your knowledge base, but before you do all that, stop trying so hard to be streetwear and try harder to be what your brand represents. That's a better way, and honestly, a more fulfilling way. That said, what are some of your opinions on streetwear fashion? Do you believe it's saturated, overdone, something else? Let it all be known in the comments. Now, this is a largely opinion-laced episode with a few consulting tips I usually give clients. So if you want more insight into how the business of fashion works, join us on Patreon to receive access to our monthly fashion business webinar, as well as access to our private Discord where discussions on the fashion industry and brand building happen in real time. But most importantly, keep it locked right here for all of your info in international fashion culture and business from Tokyo. It's your boy, and keep it casual. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. And I'll see you guys